You can fake humility. You can fake outrage. But you can't fake authenticity. And when the mask finally slips, when the brand outgrows the truth, people don't forgive, they turn. Angel Reese strutted onto the Victoria's Secret runway like she'd conquered the world. Lights flashing, crowd cheering, cameras clicking. It was her biggest stage yet, and ironically, the moment that exposed everything she'd been hiding. Because this wasn't empowerment, it was contradiction in high heels. The same Angel Reese who once cried on camera about being sexualized is now modeling lingerie for millions. You don't need a PR degree to see the irony, it's blinding. 2 years ago, she stood before reporters, trembling and tear-eyed, claiming she was being objectified. Fans rallied behind her, saying the world was unfair to confident women in sports. She built sympathy, she built a narrative, and now, that same narrative has been demolished by her own actions. Because you can't cry victim one day and cash checks from the very thing you said was traumatizing you the next. That's not growth. That's opportunism. Don't sexualize me, she said. Look at my confidence, she posts. It's the same script, flipped for profit. See, Angel's entire brand has become a masterclass in selective outrage. When she's criticized, it's sexism. When she's celebrated, it's empowerment. She decides when her femininity is power and when it's persecution. And that's why this runway moment hit different. Because for once, the audience didn't buy it. Fans looked at the stage and said, wait a minute, didn't she say this exact thing was wrong? The applause turned to confusion. The support turned to silence. One commentator put it perfectly, this isn't Burger King. You can't have it your way. And that's exactly the trap Angel's caught in, trying to control every narrative. When she's walking the runway, she's body positive. When someone critiques her shot selection, it's society hates confident women. When she's chasing modeling deals, it's empowerment. But when things don't go her way, it's victimhood. The result, a brand that's built on contradictions. And a fan base that's finally saying enough. Let's be honest, Angel Reese doesn't want to be remembered as a basketball player. She wants to be a brand, and there's nothing wrong with that. Until you start rewriting history to justify it. While her peers are in the gym tightening their handles, she's on runways tightening her PR strategy. Her jumper hasn't improved, her fundamentals are flat, but her photo shoots? Flawless. Her interviews? Viral. Her sponsorships? Grow. This isn't about chasing greatness, it's about chasing clout. And in the WNBA, that's starting to show. The internet can be cruel, but sometimes it's just calling things as they are. From basketball Barbie to OnlyFans Barbie, one fan wrote. Harsh. Sure, but inaccurate, maybe not. Because when your biggest headlines come from fashion shows and drama instead of stat sheets, you've stopped being an athlete and started being an influencer. The very fans who defended Angel through her stop sexualizing me phase are now the ones rolling their eyes, saying she'll do anything for attention except fix her jump shot. That's not hate, that's disappointment. The truth is, Angel's not the first to realize how powerful the victim card can be. Play it right, and it shields you from accountability. Critics become villains, doubters become misogynists. You turn scrutiny into sympathy, and sympathy into clicks. After LSU's championship run, she played that card perfectly. The tears, the vulnerability, the world's against me narrative. And for a while, it worked. But that Victoria's Secret runway destroyed it all. Because you can't claim to be a victim of sexualization while literally monetizing it on stage. That's not feminism, that's business, disguised as struggle. That clip, the one where she said, "Stop sexualizing me," will haunt her forever. Every new photo shoot, every red carpet, every runway walk, it'll resurface. Because people remember. They remember believing her. They remember defending her. And now they feel played. This isn't about hating a woman for being confident. It's about consistency. You can't condemn the system while cashing its checks. And that's exactly what the public's calling out. Not her looks, not her body, but her hypocrisy. Angel's saga isn't happening in a vacuum. It's a reflection of the league itself. The WNBA doesn't know what it wants to be. Is it about competition? Activism? Fashion? All three? The result is confusion. And Angel Reese became the poster child for that confusion, a player marketed more for her image than her impact. For a brief moment, she cracked the code. She merged basketball with celebrity, sports with stardom. But she built it on a lie, and when the foundation's false, everything above it eventually collapses. Compare that to Caitlin Clark. Love her or hate her fame comes from excellence, not contradiction. Every brand deal, every headline, every sold-out arena traces back to the same root: performance. She's authentic because she doesn't switch her story depending on the audience. Angel Reese, on the other hand, changes her tune depending on who's writing the check. And that's why fans feel betrayed. Because the difference between authenticity and opportunism isn't subtle, it's everything. Angel Reese isn't canceled, she canceled herself. That Victoria's Secret moment wasn't a scandal, it was a confession. She showed the world what she truly values: fame over focus, brand over basketball. And now she faces a choice. Does she double down on the influencer path and leave the game behind? Or does she reclaim her credibility and rebuild what she's lost? Either way, the internet doesn't forget. The receipts are forever. And for Angel Reese, the mask didn't just slip, it shattered on the runway. So what do you think? Did Angel Reese just expose the truth about her entire brand, or is this just another overblown controversy? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next breakdown. And the story just got real. It started with applause, then came the silence, then came the storm. Within hours of Angel's Victoria's Secret debut, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok lit up like a digital courtroom. Fans who once called her basketball Barbie now labeled her a sellout. Comments piled up faster than her brand deals. Didn't she cry about this? She'll do anything but work on her game. And perhaps the harshest one, the mask finally slipped. These weren't trolls, these were the same people who once defended her tears, reposted her speeches, and wore her LSU jersey with pride. That's the thing about betrayal, it cuts deepest when it comes from the people who once believed in you. The internet never forgets, and Angel's past is archived in HD. That viral press conference where she said, "Stop sexualizing me," it's been clipped, remixed, and replayed millions of times. People overlaid it next to her lingerie walk, side by side, contradiction versus confession. No amount of PR cleanup can erase that image. Every influencer knows the moment you contradict your own brand, the receipts become ammunition. And now, the very thing that built her sympathy has become her undoing. Because the internet doesn't hate hypocrites, it loves watching them unravel. For over a year, Angel's entire identity revolved around moral high ground. She wasn't just a player, she was the misunderstood underdog, the confident black woman who refused to be boxed in. But that armor only works when your actions align with your message. The moment she monetized the same objectification she claimed to reject, the armor cracked. People stopped seeing courage, they saw calculation. They stopped seeing empowerment, they saw PR strategy. And that's when the victim brand collapsed. Because once your pain becomes a business model, sincerity dies. Almost immediately, Angel's team tried to spin it. Words like confidence, body positivity, and representation flooded her captions and interviews. But here's the problem, you can't rebrand hypocrisy overnight. The public isn't stupid, they've seen this play before. It's the influencer cycle, cry pivot, monetize, repeat. Every apology sounds like marketing. Every statement feels like a strategy. And once people sense that disconnect, every word you say becomes background noise. The runway didn't empower her, it exposed how deeply she depends on narrative control. Meanwhile, on the court, something else became impossible to ignore. Her game has stalled. Her jumper still shaky, her defense inconsistent, her leadership fading. It's not that she can't play, it's that she doesn't seem to care. Because basketball is no longer the destination, it's the backdrop. Every missed shot feels secondary to every viral clip. And in a league desperate for credibility, that's a dangerous signal. When the conversation around you stops being about performance and starts being about persona, you're no longer an athlete, you're an act. Behind the scenes, league executives are sweating bullets. Angel Reese was supposed to be a marketing bridge, a bold, glamorous contrast to Caitlin Clark's wholesome Midwestern dominance. But that bridge is burning fast. What was meant to attract new fans is now repelling the loyal ones. Sponsors are quietly asking, is she worth the risk? Networks are wondering, can we still sell her as a hero? And worst of all, players are starting to question whether her fame is good for the league or just for her. In a sport built on teamwork, Angel's solo act is becoming a liability. Here's the brutal truth, Caitlin Clark doesn't need a scandal to trend. She trends because she delivers. Every game, every stat line, every buzzer beater, her brand is built on results, not reactions. And that's what separates her from Angel. While Clark fills arenas, Angel fills timelines. While Clark breaks records, Angel breaks narratives. And fans are noticing. They're tired of the noise and craving authenticity, the kind that doesn't come with a filter or a press release. The comparison isn't fair, but it's inevitable. And it's one Angel can't win. Angel's controversy exposes something much bigger, the WNBA's identity crisis. Is it a basketball league or a branding platform? Because right now, it's trying to be both and failing at both. Players like Sophie Cunningham prove you can embrace femininity and still be respected. But Angel's hypocrisy turns empowerment into parody. The league wanted role models, but it got reality TV storylines. And every time Angel trends for the wrong reason, it drags the whole WNBA with her. This isn't just about one player, it's about a league that still doesn't know who it wants to be. Every brand has a breaking point, a moment when the image can't hide the emptiness beneath it. For Angel Reese, that moment was a lingerie runway broadcast to millions. The glamour was real, but the authenticity was gone. Her smile looked practiced, her confidence rehearsed. You could almost feel the weight of contradiction hanging over every step. And when the lights went out, the applause faded, leaving only the echo of a question that won't go away. Who is Angel Reese without the performance? This isn't the end of her career, but it's the start of a reckoning.
Because you can't build a legacy on mixed messages.
You can't cry foul one day and cash checks the next. You can't weaponize victimhood and expect eternal sympathy. Eventually, people catch on. And when they do, the fall is swift. Angel Reese wanted fame, and she got it. But fame without foundation always collapses. The court was her launch pad, not her calling. And the same crowd that once cheered her rise is now watching, waiting to see if she'll ever find the courage to be consistent. The cameras shut off, the flashes fade, the crowd moves on.
And that's when reality hits hardest, in the silence after the storm.
Because fame doesn't echo forever, it flickers. And right now, Angel Reese's spotlight is dimming faster than anyone expected. She built her empire on noise, the cheers, the drama, the constant commentary. But the internet moves on. And when the noise dies, all that's left is the truth. The truth that basketball doesn't forgive distractions. The game always remembers who put in the work and who didn't. Inside the WNBA locker rooms, players are talking quietly but constantly. Not about her clothes, not about her photo shoots. About her commitment. They see the difference between the ones grinding in the offseason and the ones chasing cameras. And the whispers are getting louder. Is she even focused on basketball anymore? Does she really care about this team? And in a sport where chemistry wins championships, even one distracted star can poison the culture. Angel Reese isn't hated, she's doubted. And in the pros, doubt is the deadliest label of all. The brands that once couldn't wait to align with Angel's energy are now tiptoeing. Corporate America loves confidence until it becomes controversy. They'll smile in your photos but panic in their boardrooms. Because investors hate unpredictability. The same companies that praised her empowerment posts are now quietly shifting budgets to safer stars like Caitlin Clark, like Sabrina Ionescu. That's the irony of fame. The same system that feeds you will drop you the moment you stop fitting the script. An Angel script? It's getting hard to defend. Every influencer faces a moment when their message turns against them. For Angel, that moment's already here. The internet's built a library of contradictions. Videos of her calling out objectification, clips of her crying about attention, followed by footage of her doing the exact opposite. It's not hate. It's pattern recognition. And once the audience sees the pattern, every move you make becomes predictable. That's not power, that's exposure. And the worst part? She did it to herself. While Angel trends for fashion and drama, Caitlin Clark trends for dominance. One built her following on controversy, the other built hers on consistency. Clark doesn't have to chase the spotlight, it follows her. Every game she plays becomes a headline because her product is performance, not personality. She doesn't cry victim, she doesn't pivot narratives. She just wins. And that's what fans respect. Because at the end of the day, you can fake everything except results. Angel might own the runway, but Caitlyn owns the scoreboard. And that's the kind of fame that lasts forever. Now the league is facing a choice it never wanted to make. Do they keep promoting Angel, the drama magnet who brings clicks but fractures credibility? Or do they pivot fully into Caitlyn, the generational player who's saving their ratings but exposing their double standards? Every marketing meeting feels like a gamble. Every headline feels like a warning. Because for every sponsorship Angel secures, Caitlyn doubles it in authenticity. For every viral moment Angel sparks, Caitlyn creates one through sheer talent. The contrast isn't just visible, it's unavoidable. And the league knows it. There's a difference between fame and fatigue, and Angel's learning that the hard way. At first, every post went viral. Every comment thread was chaos. Now, people are scrolling past. The algorithm's bored, the audience is tired. And that's the cruel truth about controversy. It's a sugar high. It hits fast, it fades faster. Once people realize there's no evolution, just repetition, they move on. And right now, the only thing Angel's audience sees is the same act on a new stage. When Angel Reese cried about being unfairly sexualized, fans rushed to defend her. They stood by her, thinking they were supporting something genuine, something bigger than basketball. But after the Victoria's Secret stunt, many of those same fans feel deceived. They didn't sign up to defend a marketing strategy. They signed up to defend a message. And now that message feels hollow. Because empowerment built on contradiction isn't empowerment, it's manipulation. And no fan base forgives feeling manipulated. This is where Angel's story stops being about fame and starts being about legacy. Because every great athlete faces this moment, the one where the cameras stop defining you and your work has to speak. For Angel, that moment is now. Does she recommit to the game and prove everyone wrong? Or does she lean further into the fame that's already consuming her? Because once you're known more for your image than your impact, the game starts to forget you. And the cruelest part, fame fades faster than skill grows. If she doesn't pivot soon, the next chapter won't be redemption, it'll be irrelevance. This story started with a runway, but it ends with a reflection. Angel Reese wanted to be more than an athlete, and she succeeded. But in the process, she may have lost the very thing that made her matter. The hunger, the authenticity, the connection with fans who believed in her message. Now she stands at the intersection of two worlds, basketball and celebrity, and she can't play both forever. Because one demands humility, the other demands performance. And at some point, the performance ends. When the lights go out and the applause dies, what's left isn't the brand. It's the truth.